doing our thing. And then when I got to high school, like I said, everybody hated me for no reason. And so that was odd. But one thing that I started to notice.
Waking up early, catch a flight to Michigan. Business comes first, that's why I'm always winning, man. If you think I'm bougie, you never met my mom. 7 years old, I'm already set for prom. Savings on.
What's up, bro? It's your girl Sherelle. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm back with another motivational, inspirational, educational video. Okay, so yeah, it's back to my channel where we discuss all things elevation, and today I'm going to talk to y'all about why I moved to Texas. I told y'all how I got here. I done showed y'all the crib. I done told y'all everything else, but I never told y'all why I moved here in the first place. Before I get started, I want to know, do y'all have y'all water of choice? Don't leave me hanging now, because we got a lot to talk about today. Girl, I'm vlogging right now. Okay, so, as I've said in other videos, I am from Michigan. I'm from a small town in Michigan. It's 2 hours away from Detroit. I actually was born in Detroit, and I was partially raised in Detroit, but, you know, I went back and forth between my dad and my mom. And my mom moved us to a smaller town, mainly for safety. You know, Detroit used to be that place, okay? Detroit used to be love, contrary to popular belief. Detroit was love at one point, and then, unfortunately, it took a turn for the worst. So, my mom moved us to a town that was, you know, more fit to raise a family and raise children. So, overall, I loved where I'm from. So the thing about it is, the city that Grand Rapids, the city that I lived in, it was cool when we first moved there. Like, it was lit. Like, I don't know if people remember, but like, Grand Rapids was lit. We had fun spot skating ring, woodland skating ring. We had the black festivals, the African festivals downtown. I always look forward to the Gus Smacker. We just had so many fun things to do. Zap Zone, Craig's Cruisers. It was the AJ's Water Park. Like, literally, when I moved to Grand Rapids, I remember everything, because one thing about my mom and one thing about my immediate family in general is we like to sightsee. We're gonna go hit every spot. So my childhood was lit. Like, I had a lot of fun. As I got older, I started noticing cliques. Like, when I say clique, I mean like everybody in the city was related to each other. And me and my brother, sometimes we just felt a little awkward, because it was like everybody talking to each other, you know what I'm saying? What up, cuz? What up, cuz? And we didn't have any cousins. So that was, it didn't bother me at first, but because in middle school, I was like real popular. But in high school is when shit just hit the fan. There was this girl who didn't like me in high school for no reason, like at all. She didn't even know me. When we seen each other, she had to call my name just to make sure it was me. Like, she was already beefing with me before she had met me. But anyway, this girl was like, okay? So she had came from the rival middle school. Because, see, I went to one middle school, and then she went to another. It was 3 middle schools in the area. And I don't know why, but it was a rival between them. I don't know. Anyway, somebody had went back and started mess between us. Like I said, I had never met the girl. But when we got to high school, of course, everybody was at the same high school. And pretty much she was like that mean girl. You know what I'm saying? She was ugly. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it real. The was ugly. She was tall. She was big. She was everything. She was that bully, that stereotypical bully that you see in the movies. That was her. And everybody just followed her lead. You know what I'm saying? So none of the girls really liked me. my freshman year of high school. So it was a culture shock for me because just imagine you being one of the most popular kids in middle school. Like, everybody loved me in middle school. I didn't have no issues in middle school. You know what I'm saying? Me and my brother, we was always fly. Okay? Mama kept us together. We had all the Forces, Jordans, whatever you could think of. And I was just living my life. You know what I'm saying? We was going to the skating rink every week, doing our thing. And then when I got to high school, like I said, everybody hated me for no reason. And so that was odd. But one thing that I started to notice was I became an easier target because I didn't have any cousins. This town is just like full of cousins. Everybody related. And it was just me by myself. And it didn't become a problem until high school. But anyway, so that was my freshman year. And then my sophomore year, my dad ended up getting custody of me, and I spent my whole sophomore year in Detroit. And I hated it. Just because, like, Detroit, you know, it's fun, but you just miss home. Like, it's nothing like home. Grand Rapids had already become my home at that point. So just taking a 15-year-old and transitioning them into a whole new world, it was hard for me. I didn't adjust. So I ended up going back to Grand Rapids my junior year. And when I went my junior year, it was pretty much smooth sailing from then. But one thing I started to notice about Grand Rapids is the culture change in general. The whole city had become whitewashed. And I don't know if y'all catch my drift, but I mean, it was always a Dutch town, but it got to the point where they start closing everything, y'all. They took away the skating rings. They shut down our favorite movie theater. I will never forget Studio 28. I love me some Studio 28. No more downtown festivals. No more Gus Mackers downtown. They moved everything like super far out. So basically you couldn't catch the bus to these events. If you ain't have a car, you was out of luck. And it just got to the point where there was nothing to do. There was no clubs. And I was just like, I hate it here. I hate this. Why am I still here? So even when I was in high school, I had always knew that I was going to move. I really kept saying that I was going to move to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, Atlanta used to be, like, it still is. Atlanta is popping, but everybody wanted to move to Atlanta at one point. And so, excuse my bun, y'all. But anyway, Atlanta didn't work for me. I had a couple of friends who had some unfortunate situations in Atlanta, enough to make me not even want to look twice at Atlanta. Like, two of my friends went through some crazy stuff down there, and I was like, nah. So it got to the point where well, let me rewind real quick. I was in a 4-year relationship where I conceived my 2 beautiful daughters, and that relationship didn't work out. And that relationship had become toxic to the point that even after we broke up, I was still... So that relationship was toxic even after I broke up, to the point where it was like, he was literally stressing me, like, just because of the things that he was going through. I ain't gonna put his personal business out there, but him, I'm just keeping it real with y'all, him and one of my other family members were stressing me, and we just didn't have the best relationship. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have any family in this city, you know, so I'm depressed. I'm going through postpartum depression. I'm dealing with a breakup on top of having 2 kids now. I'm a newly single mother, and this town, and then you add that with the fact that there's nothing to do in the city for Black people. So I was like, man, I'm out of here. Like, what am I sticking around for? You know, what I wanted my kids to not go through what I went through, because I knew how it felt not being around family, not having any family. I didn't want to take them from that. But honestly, they family, Listen, it wasn't going to be no family foundation even if I stayed in Michigan. I'll just put it to y'all like that. It wasn't going to be that. There was no unity anywhere. So, it got to the point where my lease was up and I didn't know where I was going to go. I went to go visit my granddad. I had two granddads. Rest in peace to my granddad, Charlie. But I went to go visit my granddad, Charlie, in Vegas. And both my granddads lived in Vegas at the time. And I was thinking about moving to Vegas. But thank God I went to visit, because when I went to visit, I was turned off. See, everybody think Vegas is just, ooh. Everybody think Vegas is just, you know, and Vegas is a party town. That's exactly what it is. So I'm not trying to raise no kids there. Once you leave that strip, it's nothing really to Vegas anyway, you know? If you've been on the strip, you done seen all you need to see. Because once you leave that strip, you're going to see a whole bunch of homeless hobos all up and down everywhere with tents everywhere. I just didn't want to expose my kids to that. Nah. And I value family so much, I still thought about living there because I had a lot of family in Vegas. I actually had extended family in Vegas too. So, but I'm glad that I didn't make that decision, because I just decided to move to Dallas, Texas. I said, hey, I have a distant cousin who lives in Dallas. Why not? Just go for it. So I reached out to my family member and I told them, you know, I told this story in my other video. So I just started preparing. And then I know the questions that people have, like, how long did it take you to make the decision to move? How much money did you have saved? So we're going to talk about all that. So literally, I made the decision within 3 months. It took me about 3 months of preparing. What I did in that time was I just started researching neighborhoods that are safe, but I also didn't want to live somewhere too gentrified. I wanted to live somewhere where there are black people. You know what I'm saying? Successful black people. So I researched the neighborhoods near Dallas that are kid friendly, and I researched the job market. And when I left with about $1,000. And really, I just wanted that $1,000, like a little bit of gas money to get down there, and some money to put towards my deposit when I found my apartment. Like, literally, I did not have a lot of money when I came down here. And that's one thing that I want to say to y'all. If you want to move, just do it. Don't procrastinate, because you're going to talk yourself out of it. You're going to keep telling yourself, oh, I gotta do this, and oh, I gotta do that, and I gotta have this saved, and I gotta have that saved. The only thing that I want to say to you is, don't move to be like running from no problems. Like, whatever problems that you have, you need to make sure they are resolved when you're in Michigan. And when I say that, I'm not talking about because see, I was running away from the fact that there was nothing to do in Michigan, so that's different. But like, if you ain't got your L's suspended, you got a felony, you got a warrant, you got a felony, you got a warrant, you got evictions, you got stuff on your credit, all that stuff is still going to be on your credit when you move. It's not going away. Like, when I was in Michigan, my license was suspended. I literally that's one thing that I did do. I made sure I got my license taken care of before I came down here so the process could be smooth. You don't want to come down here with that type of baggage, because you're not escaping it. You're not running from it. So if those are the issues that you're holding off for, then yes, I do recommend you get that taken care of. But if you're not leaving because you feel like you don't have enough money, if you're not leaving because you feel like you're going to fail, you don't have enough support, I'm here to tell y'all, those are not reasons not to come. Those are excuses. And Dallas is one of the most supportive places I have ever lived. I've made so many friends down here. We are all supportive. You end up building your own. So, like I'm going to talk about in my next video, reasons that I moved to Dallas was the city that I was living in was becoming gentrified. They were literally raising up the cost of living for all of the houses in the hood. They didn't even want black people living in the hood no more. The 2 bedrooms in the hood was going for like $1,300, okay? On top of that, I wasn't born in Grand Rapids, so I never felt connected to it. And the family that I had, even in Detroit and Lansing and everywhere else, I have become displaced from them. Our bond wasn't even that tight. So I personally just didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. I don't miss anybody except for my nephew. My brother, he has a baby and he has another baby on the way. So I do hate that my brother and I aren't able to raise our children together. You know what I'm saying? So I do hate that. But, you know, as time goes on and we become more successful in our careers, we definitely will be taking more frequent trips to visit each other. I already visit Michigan twice a year. I don't really visit. I bring my kids to go see their people. And then I get on the flight. I'm telling y'all, it's so many times I done dropped the kids off in Michigan and literally didn't even stay. I just dropped them off at the airport with their people, and then I literally hopped back on my flight to Dallas. It's really like that with me. Like, I'm not playing when I tell y'all I don't miss Michigan at all. I'm not joking. I love it down here. My kids are on the dance team. One thing that I really love down here is the Southern culture, the majorette culture, the college, you know, the black college vibes. My kids are getting a lot of culture. They're getting exposed to, you know, the black Southern culture. They're Southern belles, and that's what I always wanted. I love it. You know, y'all watch that show, Dancing Dolls. We compete against those teams. And so it's just really amazing. I have no regrets. If you're worried about building a support system down here, I am actually putting together a program to help with that because my support system is strong. And I want to tell y'all, you know, how I found friends and how I went about building my own village and building my own family. And also how I went about choosing daycares and how I went about choosing schools. I'm literally putting together a program for mothers like myself who have been in my position and who want to relocate. So y'all stay tuned for that. I'm really, really excited about that. And y'all make sure y'all go follow me on Instagram at Sherelle B. So that's all I have for my channel today, y'all. I'm sorry that I have been MIA. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna do this video or the reason why I don't talk to my family. I got 2 videos coming at y'all back to back, so I'm not sure which one I'm gonna upload first. But like I explained in my other video, I have been distant because I have been working very hard. But I am going to do my best to try to upload a video at least once a week because there's so many things that I want to talk to y'all about. So make sure y'all stay tuned, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and hit that post notification. Love y'all. Talk to y'all soon.